It's incredible how many e-commerce operators are behind the scenes doing some incredible stuff at really young ages. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a conversation with you with one of my friends, Austin, who is doing over 400K a month extremely profitably. This conversation is pretty short and sweet, but it's extremely valuable. Now, he was kind enough to share his store with us. It's called Inventor.io, and it's one of the most original stores that I've seen in e-commerce, and I can see why they're so successful. This guy's honestly a genius, and you can kind of see it from the store. I don't know of anybody else that has created something like this. It's a really cool experience, but I'll let him talk about it some more here. So let's hop right into that conversation. But real quick, I do want to ask a favor from you. So if you click on the first link in this video, you'll be able to try Shopify for free. Now, depending on where you are in the world, you may be able to get an amazing deal like this one you see on my screen. And I've been talking to Shopify a lot lately, and if we can get enough people to start their Shopify stores through my link, I'll be able to meet up with them and make some really cool videos. So let's show them that my audience means business, literally, and that we're not here just to mess around. We're here to take action and build the businesses of our dreams. So I'd really appreciate it if you check that out. Share with your friends, family, anybody you know. But now let's hop right into the conversation. Hi everyone, whoever's watching this. I'm recording this, by the way, if I'm sure that's cool with you. That's cool. What. Yeah. This is my friend Austin, and we're gonna talk about one of his stores and about some other random stuff. But that's gonna be the main topic of conversation here. So Austin, how you doing, bro?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Yeah, store's going well as well. Just got you on board, help with the ads. Excited about that.
Yep. So we're actually working together now, which is great. But if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about, so I guess I'll bring people up to context to now. So now you have this e-commerce brand that's doing about 400K a month, super profitably, like way more profitably than than most stores, I would say, probably than like 99% of stores. And there's a lot of really cool things that you do that I think are going to be super helpful. So could you brief us on like a little bit of your journey to where you're at now?
Yeah, so basically I started 4 or 5 years ago, kind of around the time that you started as well. And I was just obsessed with it. Like in between I was going to college for computer security at the time. In between my classes, I had like a 6-hour gap, and I would just spend that like 6 hours in the library just watching like e-commerce, how to make money online videos. I remember like the $0 to $1,000 challenges were like really big at the time. So yeah, I started like everyone else, and I got into it, but I was seeing all like the general stores and stuff like that, and it didn't super excite me. So that's why I kind of used like my technical background. I've always been like a hacker, nerd, maker style person. So I kind of combined the two hobbies together, and it kind of worked at first. I can't say it didn't work at first. I did like 10K or so in like 2 months. But that was like life changing for me because I only had like a couple $100. Like, every college kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ton of money. So
that's
like,
a shit ton of money at the time. That's like the best feeling too.
Yeah. Not really much for margins, but it was cool to just do that. And then, that got me hooked. And it took me a bit to figure it out. Like, it still wasn't until like I did like 20K or so, and it was like Q4, but like Q1 came around, everything died out.
And this is with like a general store, right? Where this is like how you started, or you're talking about the current brand even?
It's essentially the current brand, but it was just under a different name. But it was a very similar product and same niche. So I would say it's pretty similar. And it did have more stuff, and it was drop shipping. I found all the stuff on AliExpress like everybody else was doing. Didn't have anything white labeled or branded at first either. Just started scrappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took me another like year or so, 2 years to figure out what funnels were and how to do like the internet marketing shenanigans that I know now. And yeah, I went back at it with one more shot, and then we did like 100K in sales our first month. Again, like awful margins, but I knew 100K in the first month. I was like, all right, I have to just figure out how to get margins out of this. Like, I'll be good.
Right. So you took a little bit of a break to kind of learn a lot, and then came back to it.
Well, I wasn't making much money from that first one,
like
I said. So I spent a lot of time doing consulting, as in like store building. Like I knew I could build a Shopify for people. So I charged like $500, like that's cheap as you can get, right, for a store. And I would spend hours just building out these stores. And I probably built like 50 or so in a year.
Wow.
It was with Mason. We did different price points and stuff too, but
that's cool. That's actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because That's one of the things I think is like a huge benefit to even just starting an online business in general, is like the skills you build, you can apply to so many different things. So like, you supplemented your income at the time so you could, probably live by doing that, like, doing some stores and then use that to kickstart your next business. That's fucking dope.
Yeah. I'm glad it worked out. I mean, It's been years. Like it's been a lot of work, a lot of work. But I mean, and I feel like I'm still just starting. Like 400K now seems like a tiny month to me, and I feel like the small fish still. Like I always feel like the small fish. Like,
well, especially when we compare it with the competitors. Like there's some crazy people in this game.
Yeah, they'll do $1 million in a day, and you just feel like, like, oh wow.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a little bit of something that made the big difference, right? Because when I see your story, and I mean, obviously here, let me kind of pull it up real quick so that people can see what we're talking about. But basically what you're doing here that's a lot different than the majority of stores that I look at least, is you have a really nice funnel. Like you actually spent time to sort of think it through, think about like the buying journey of people, and that's played a huge role. Like what would you say are some of those things that you learned that played a big role in that?
I could go on this forever. So yeah, part of it's the site flow. So one thing that, I mean, a lot of people do, but a lot of people also don't do, is the upsells. Like I was saying, the OTO pages after they buy at checkout, and like you can really get, like, I've had 50% conversion rates on some of my OTOs. It's just like they want, if you can give them value in another way for that same thing, they're going to say yes. Or what works a lot is more of the same, is what they say.
Yeah.
So like if you're selling supplements, try selling them more supplements of what they just bought at like a discounted thing or like a subscription or whatever. And you'll find that your average order value goes up by like 50, 60% or more if you do it really well. And you can easily spend way more on ads. And that's the trick to the free just pay shipping funnel too. If you have something super cheap in the front end, like we have a free board as one of our offers, and it's $10 just pay shipping. And then after that, we, upsell them like, hey, do you want the 30-day challenge to go with it? So you know how to use it and you get these other parts. And then, hey, do you want a robot arm so you can make things move, and get stuff. So
that's so cool. Yeah, man. And there's so many ways that people can apply that too. Like I think we were talking about it yesterday a little bit in terms of like Shopify, because your site is on WordPress, which is a little more complex. But like on Shopify, you got OCU, right? Like one-click upsells, where you can set up like a one-time offer like that. And you guys do multiple ones, right? Like that's the industry standard, I guess, when you're using these sort of offers, is to do like, let's say one of the same thing, and then if they take that, then you do another thing. Or how far would you take it?
You can have fun with it. I wouldn't go more than 3 though. I've heard people that go up to like 5 or something like that, but that'd
just be annoying. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. I've had good success with 2 upsells right after 2 OTOs. So that seems to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's also important is a value ladder. I feel like a lot of stores don't have that as well. Like, the good click funnel. I wish I had I have the whiteboard there, but it actually has my value ladder on it as well. But we have like the cheap product, the free just pay shipping offer, and then the 30-day challenge, and then the high ticket offer after that. We're still working on the high ticket one.
Yeah, right. That's so smart, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Whenever I came across this, I was like, okay, I see why this is so profitable. And that's another thing I want to mention, is the profitability here is, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. You're at like 40-45% profits with something like this, which is like unheard of at this scale.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know other
from my world. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure maybe like some are, but
yeah. And there's a lot more stuff we can do too, like having a subscription model. Those are also huge. We've tested that in the past, like a digital product subscription. And it worked well for us. We just weren't super happy in the product, so we're going to revisit that soon. But yeah, stuff like that too is also really big for it. But I think one thing that really kind of leveled me up a lot was with our adventure kit, the 30 Days Lost in Space. It's when we first were selling kits, we just had a box of parts, and a bunch of projects and like a list that they could fill out or do, and nobody went through it. Nobody like enjoyed our ebooks, and I spent a lot of time on those ebooks. I was like, dang, nobody's going through like our digital bonuses. But what we did was we added a story to it, right? So it's like you're trapped on this rock, and you've crashed your spaceship, and now you have to repair your spaceship one part at a time in order to like get off and get home. So you need to like repair the lights, repair the motors, and stuff like that. So
wow,
that really hooked people into going through the 30-day challenge. So
yeah, and I mean, you even brought on like an actual STEM teacher to sort of be behind this, or like a sort of the face of the educational side of it. And I think that's so smart, bro.
At first, everybody that's wanting to do this, do it yourself, and then prove the concept, and then go and hire somebody to do it. Because you want a really quick minimal viable product. Ours sucked at first. It was okay, like it worked and it taught the things, but it was nowhere near where it is now. Like it's been years of us, getting feedback and improving our product based on that feedback. But it's really it's something anyone can do. Like I saw an ad today for an otter like knitting kit, so you can like knit an otter, because I'm like following this otter fan page because I think they're cute. But like that's such a good way to turn yarn into like a unique offer that no one else is really offering, and then sell yarn for $20 when it's really like $1 worth of material.
Right, because you have the instructions behind it and this little like experience.
Yeah, that they can't really get anywhere else, right? And then like that's the same thing. I've got these next to me. I realized this too. These guys did the same thing that I did, but did it way better. So like Pokemon cards, they're selling you cardboard, but they're selling you cardboard through a story, right? They tell you the story of all the, they got the whole media franchise with it, but now they're able to sell a penny cardboard piece for like $4 or $5 a pack and scale it to millions.
Yeah, and some are like worth millions now, which is crazy. Yeah. Like, how does that happen? Wow, bro, that's incredible. I'm just okay. So you mentioned something about how it took a while to get here, because that's I'm sure the people are watching this, and even me hearing it, I'm like, holy shit! Like, how do you just think of that? But what's some advice I guess you can give to the people that are just starting and they see where you're at now, and they're like, oh, I don't know how I can even relate to that. But you started in a similar place. Like this was an AliExpress product to begin with that you just like iterated on.
Yep. So the little hack is having a community. So since I really run Facebook ads, I have a Facebook group, and we're up to like 27,000 members now, which is great. But when I was like starting, I had this Facebook group, and I was just asking them questions like every day. And I don't remember exactly the scenario, but this pretty much kit idea came from somebody in our group, and was like, hey, it'd be cool if you like told a story of like, it was like some related story or whatever, but like we were able to like piece it together from everything that like our customers were telling us to do. So like it wasn't really an idea that I had that like makes me seem all genius. Like I just asked people like, what do you want? And then eventually asking them that enough, like, good ideas really come through, and some suck, some are really good.
Right. That's very smart. And building a community, like there's so many benefits to that, even outside of just like the feedback, but that's just like an asset of people that are gonna, hype you up, buy over and over again. There's just so many benefits. So I'm glad that you were doing that. I know like other brands that are doing that as well, and they seem to have like the highest returning customer rate, the highest profit margins because of the high returning customer rate. It's crazy.
Yeah, because Facebook, like if you look at how they distribute your news feed, it's like if you post from your page itself, you're never going to get views or likes or stuff like that. But if you have it dedicates, I think like 30%, or it's like some large amount of the Facebook feed to groups. So like you get a lot more reach that way. And a lot of people are posting testimonials. Like they're just like, hey, I had success with, doing this today with this product. And then it's just constant testimonials too. And it's like an echo chamber if you got a good product, and it's really cool.
So that's another thing about product development. How did you guys go about it? Like you just, you've been in contact with different manufacturers. Have you run through like a lot of sampling, and how difficult was that process to get to where you're at now?
It actually wasn't like that bad. Like we just sent them a parts list, like a sourcing agent over there, and we sent him a parts list, and he was able to put it all together, and he did a really good job. So I'm lucky to have the team that I have. And then we've tried other manufacturers as well and got samples and stuff because we want to be a little bit more sturdy. One of our problems is we just can't get enough inventory when we're scaling. Like we've got back order on our site right now and stuff like that. So we're testing other suppliers, but it seems to, very simple. You just send them a parts list and what you want. We're trying to get more fancy with the packaging now. We've got all these ideas and stuff. That's going to be a little bit harder to do, but looking forward to it.
Do you think it played a big role, the fact that you are interested in this niche, like that you're kind of passionate about it a little bit? Like, does that play a role?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's the one thing that a lot of my competitors in this niche don't understand how to do like sales copy, or like, especially like the copy I do, which is more like the older form. Like, I'm really a big fan of Eugene Schwartz and those style ads. So like, nobody in our niche really knows how to write like that. So that gave me a big advantage. And it's just stuff I love, and I love coding and circuits and hacking and making things. And
right.
I love doing the testimonials in our group of like a kid that's like 12 years old that just learned how to code. Like, that just feels so good.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I think that's a huge thing too, because I don't necessarily think you have to do that. Obviously you don't have to do that to build like a giant business. Like the Fashion Nova founder is like a dude. I'm sure he's not like out there, modeling those bras or whatever they sell, but I think it helps, man. And for like fulfillment, like personal fulfillment, like you said, like it's such a good feel. I'm sure that feels just as good as like, if not better than like a, 100K month. Like the money only goes so far, I guess.
Yeah. Once you do like, you do like 100K in a week and you're just like, all right, how do I do this in a day? And then like, the dopamine's gone right away. But
right.
I don't know, like when we saw like orders from like Harvard and stuff like that, and like helping out their education, it's like so cool. That just beats any amount of money.
Right. And how long has this brand been around then? Like 3-4 years or 2?
Almost 4.
Wow.
It's just like a little over 3, a little over 3.5. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And you just kept grinding it out, like putting in the work consistently, improving things.
I've messed up a lot too. Like last year, I took basically the whole year off. And I was just trading NFTs.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It was like I had, no money in it, and then it just went up to like $250,000 in NFT value, and then just like straight back down. And I was, so the last few months I've had to refocus on this. And I needed a break, but I'm glad I came back, and it's definitely like the last 4 months have been pretty great.
Yeah, sometimes taking a break is like just so valuable, bro, because you get so many new ideas, you get a new perspective on things. It's nice. So when it comes to this is random, but when it comes to NFTs and crypto, like, are you still pretty involved, or are you still investing, or what are you doing?
I'm still in the core discords, that I was a member of, but I just kind of peep at them, and then I, cringe a little on the inside of how much money I lost, and then I get back to like, I don't know. I've definitely, like in ecom now, it's like I'll make a certain amount in a day, and then it just makes me totally forget about crypto, because like that's really where the money is for me by far. Because it felt like when that whole crypto phase was going on, everyone was just trading, right, and just flipping NFTs, but no one was creating value. And then that's why it just cannot be sustainable. Like with Inventor, I at least create value for somebody, and I know like, all right, that's sustainable because I'm creating value, and there's a reason I'm making money, because I bought a stupid picture and it went up to like 5.
Yeah, that's like a calculated gamble. Like NFTs are just, it's kind of gambling at the end of the day. It's not really investing. It's not really creating value, like you said. But that's the thing that ecom is so cool about, is that, you're building value. Ideally, you're building something that people love, that people are gaining something from, and then you make money as a result of that, as opposed to like just getting lucky and making money that way, which isn't sustainable and it's not predictable. And like, you can't really depend on that.
Yeah, we were able to create our own way to make value for our audience. And it's something that, like they said, they can't really get anywhere else. So they come to us for the parts, and it allows us to sell an AliExpress kit for 5 times the price. But it's worth it. Like we reinvest all that money into the education anyways. We're constantly redoing the course. I hired a product manager, and his only focus is this one little small parts, box. Full time, just like cranking it out, helping people and making it better. So
that's crazy, man. Well, yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. I don't think we need to go on for a long time here. I think we pretty much covered all the bases. If you want what's next, I guess? What are some of your goals now?
Just keep scaling this, and then we've only got really one funnel going right now, so I want to get the other funnels up, and I'd like to get a recurring revenue through digital product. I'd want to do that in the next year or so, and then a high ticket offer. And I think it's scale time from there.
Then the $1 million months will be the regular thing, and then $1 million days.
Yeah, you feel bad if you don't do like $500,000 in a day, right?
Yeah, that's the goal at least. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it. I mean, I think there's so many, there's people like you that are just like under the scenes that are doing such cool shit. And, I'm really happy that you took the time to just come on here, and this is going to help so many people I already know.
And if anyone needs help, there's a Discord link below.
Right? Yep. The Nets for your Discord. You're a part of it. Everyone, I've been getting all my friends that, are doing cool things as a part of it. It's free, so you don't have to, pay for it, but just try to not do any sketchy things in there. We got mods.
If you have any questions for me, ask me in the Discord and I'll answer them.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it.